What's up guys, Nivelite here, back with some more Evertale. Today we're continuing on the character spotlight series with the Storm Dragon Altaireon. This was suggested a few weeks back, so let's go ahead and dive in and see what the character has to offer. Right away, we can see that Altaireon is a very slow powerhouse of a unit. So he's not very fast, but when he does get off an attack, it's going to be devastating. His leader skill will increase attack and HP, so a very common leader skill there. His active skills, his normal attack costs 130 time units and it will give the team 2 spirit. He has pain stun random, which will randomly stun one enemy for 200 time units at the cost of 30% of his health. This is a very fast skill as it only requires 70 time units, but it does cost 30% HP plus 2 spirit to the team. Moving into his time drain is like a single target nuke. It will do 500% damage to one enemy as long as they have 130 time units or more. If they have 200 TU, it will do 600% damage. So combined with his high attack, this will kill most units. Now, the rest of that skill states if they are at 130 more time units, he will heal 50% of his max health back. So it's very important to note that you can't just spam time drain to heal him. They do have to have 130 time units or higher in order for that drain effect to happen. And his last skill for 1 spirit is Desperate Strike, which is a 2 enemy attack, 300% damage to 2 enemies, usable when they're at 50% health. Now, if they're at 25 or less, it will up to 400% damage. His passive skills are Hold Ground and Stun Skin. Now, this stun skin is very, very strong as it is a non-situational stun skin. So what that means is there are no requirements for his stun skin to happen. Unlike other units like Antares, for example, who has survival stun skin, where she has stun skin until her Survivor's Fury is unlocked, Altaireon has stun skin from the time he enters the battlefield to the time he exits the battlefield. So there is no requirement for his stun skin to go off, it just persists. And the remaining part of his passives are Hammer Resist, which is pretty nice, HP and Attack Up, all pretty standard, and Sword Mastery, which I think complements his weapon of choice, which is axes, pretty well. That gives him a pretty wide range of abilities to be able to use. So where does Altaireon fit in with everything? So it should be pretty obvious that he is a stun unit through and through. He belongs in a stun team, and that's where he should be. He is a staple of any stun team. If you put him in a stun team, it will enable that team very well. He is a big enabler for stun teams, so he's gonna pair well with units like Norza, Antares, Shiori, Ossia. He has a wide range of units that he can pair well with that also do time related attacks and stuns enemies. So when you pair him with other stun units, he brings a constant threat of stun with his stun skin. So if he gets attacked, he's providing stuns for your team, who will also have time strike abilities. Pairing him with somebody like Antares or Norza, who will attack and counter as well as provide stuns and those types of threats as well, he can really be a very hard enemy to get off the battlefield because he also has a time drain ability that will help heal him back up to full health. That also does an insane amount of damage. He also works pretty well with units like SSR Finn, who has Thundering Entry, as well as the Dragon Orzakron, who also has Thundering Entry, which will stun units as they enter the battlefield. So these guys work very well as like a 5th place unit in a platoon. He's also going to work very well with Storm Rolosia, who also has like chrono stuns and abilities like that. So you can see her chrono stun, time strike. She has double stun entry as well. So all of these types of units he is going to pair very, very well with, and he's going to enable your stun team to just really increase their output of damage and overall threat. He can also work pretty well in a hybrid team like poison stun, things like that. But he's not going to shine as high as he would in a pure stun team. So whether you summon for him or not whenever his banner comes around, that is entirely up to you. If you're building a stun team, it's pretty much a given that you're gonna summon for him because of his stun skin and because of that single target nuke that he brings to the table. He's pretty much a staple for any stun team. So if you're running a stun team, you're probably gonna wanna pull for Altaireon and try to get him. So like with everything, whether you summon for him or not will always depend on what kind of team you're building. If you're building a burn team, sleep team, whatever, don't summon for him. If you're building a stun team, absolutely go for him the moment you're able to get him, because he will make your stun team very, very strong. So what are the pros and cons of Altaireon? Well, his pros: he's a staple unit for any stun team. He is self-sustaining with his own drain attack, which will heal his HP back. He has a non-situational stun skin, which means he has a stun skin that persists while he's on the battlefield, no matter what, at all times. And also, he has very high single target damage. His cons are he is hard countered by literally any burn. Okay, so most burn units have burning focus or something like that, where that makes them immune to stun. So any burning focus unit hard counters any stun unit. Like, it is just a thing. So if you run into a burn heavy team with your stun team, just know you're probably gonna lose. You're gonna be a headache for a lot of other teams, but burn teams will be a headache for you. He is a very slow unit, so that can be a problem with getting some of his attacks off, especially if you're running into somebody who is countering your team. And he doesn't perform as well outside of his niche. Yes, he can be used in hybrid teams, but he is going to shine the most when surrounded by other stun units. So overall, I think Altaireon is a fantastic unit. I think if you're running a stun team, you should pull for him. If you're not running a stun team, you should stay away from him. It's kind of that simple. He's not really going to help you outside of a stun team. He can be used in hybrid teams, yes, but he's slow and he can be countered by burns. So if you're not really going all in on the stuns, you should probably stay away from him, because there are other stun based units that will work better in hybrid situations, like Ossia, Norza, Antares. Like they can be plugged into another team with much better results, in my opinion. So that's it for today, guys. Just a quick video, a breakdown on Altaireon. Let me know what you guys think about this unit down in the comments below. If you have anything else to add to the conversation, also let me know in the comments down below. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.